If you think buying a house in Liverpool right now is impossible, you're not alone. Prices are going crazy, good deals disappear overnight, and honestly, it feels like the whole market is working against you. But what if I told you there are still houses out there that are actually affordable, and most people do not even know about them? In this video, I have found 10 surprisingly cheap houses in Liverpool and nearby areas, and some of these might actually shock you. I will walk you through each one, break down what you're getting, and help you figure out which ones are actually worth your attention. So if you have been thinking about getting into the property market, or just curious what your money can get you right now, this video is for you. Right, so let us start with the first property, and this one is actually pretty interesting. House 1. We are looking at a 4-bedroom terraced house in Speke, Liverpool, priced at around £280,000, which, for the space you are getting here, is definitely worth paying attention to. As soon as you step inside, you're welcomed into a bright entrance hallway that leads you straight into a really comfortable living area. It has a nice, cozy feel to it, perfect for relaxing after a long day or spending time with family. But where this house really starts to stand out is when you move further in. You've got this large open-plan kitchen and dining space, and honestly, this is the kind of layout a lot of people are looking for right now. It is open, it is practical, and there is plenty of room whether you're cooking, hosting, or just hanging out. And right next to that, you've also got a separate utility room and a downstairs shower room, which makes everyday living a lot more convenient, especially for a busy household. Now heading upstairs, the first floor gives you 3 well-sized bedrooms, all getting good natural light, so whether you need kids' rooms, a king, guest setup, or even a home office, you've got flexibility here. There is also a modern family bathroom on this level, clean and functional, so everything you need is right there. And then, up on the top floor, you've got the master bedroom, and this one feels a bit more private, almost like its own little retreat. It comes with an ensuite shower room, which is always a big plus. Outside, you have got a rear garden that is easy to maintain, so it is nice for summer evenings or just a bit of outdoor space without too much hassle. And location-wise, you're in a really convenient spot, close to local amenities, schools, and with quick access to major roads and even Liverpool John Lennon Airport. So overall, if you are looking for a spacious family home with a modern layout in a well-connected area, this one definitely sets a strong starting point. Now moving on from that, this next one is quite different. And honestly, it is a really nice option if you're looking for something a bit more affordable to get started. House 2. This is a 2-bedroom terraced house in Wavertree, coming in at around £190,000, and for the location alone, that already makes it pretty interesting. Right away, this home has a bit more character to it. As you walk in, you are greeted by a proper entrance hall that leads you into 2 separate reception rooms, which is something you do not always see at this price point. So you have got flexibility here. You could use one as your main living space and the other as a dining room, or even a home office if needed. As you move further through, there is a dining area that opens out with French doors to the rear, bringing in a nice amount of natural light and giving the space a more open feel. And that flows straight into the kitchen, so everything feels nicely connected without being fully open plan like the last house. Heading upstairs, you have got 2 really good-sized double bedrooms. So, no small box rooms here, both feel comfortable and practical. And alongside that, there is a modern 3-piece bathroom, clean, simple, and ready to go. One thing that is worth mentioning here is that the property comes with no onward chain, which can make the whole buying process a lot smoother and quicker, especially if you're a first-time buyer. Outside, there is a low-maintenance enclosed yard, so you still get some outdoor space without having to deal with too much upkeep. And being right in the heart of Wavertree, you are surrounded by local shops, cafes, and transport links, so everything you need is pretty much on your doorstep. So if you are looking for something more budget-friendly, full of character, and in a lively area, this one could be a really solid option to consider. House 3. This is a 3-bedroom semi-detached house in Liverpool, priced again at around £190,000, but the big difference here is the layout and outdoor space you are getting. As you step inside, the ground floor opens up into a spacious lounge and dining area combined, giving you a really flexible space to work with. It is the kind of setup where you can easily have a living area on one side, dining on the other, and still not feel cramped. so it works well whether it is everyday family life or having people over. Moving through, you have got a kitchen with plenty of storage and workspace, so it is practical and does exactly what you need it to do without feeling tight. Upstairs is pretty straightforward, but in a good way. You've got 3 well-proportioned bedrooms, so again, no awkward tiny rooms. It is a solid setup whether you've got a family, need a home office, or even want to rent out a room. And there is a family bathroom on this floor, easily accessible from all the bedrooms. Now, one thing that really makes this property stand out compared to the previous one is what is outside. You've got driveway parking, which is always a big plus. No worrying about finding a spot, and then to the rear, there is a good-sized garden. So if you like the idea of having proper outdoor space, whether it is for relaxing, gardening, or even just letting kids run around, this definitely adds value. Location-wise, you're close to local shops, schools and transport links, so it is a convenient area without being right in the middle of the busier parts. So overall, this one feels like a more practical, well-rounded home, especially if outdoor space and parking are high on your list. House 4. This is a 3-bedroom semi-detached house in Fairfield priced at around £150,000, which already puts it on the lower end compared to what we have seen so far. But here is the thing. This one is more of an opportunity than a finished home. As it stands, the property does need some decoration and updating, so you are not walking into something fully done. But at the same time, that is where the potential comes in. You've got a solid base to work with, a reception area, 3 decent-sized bedrooms, and both front and rear garden space, which already gives you a lot to build on. So whether you are thinking of doing a light refresh or going all in with a full renovation, there is definitely room here to add value over time. And another big plus is that it is being sold with vacant possession, so there is no waiting around. You can get started straight away. Location-wise, it is actually pretty convenient. You are just a short distance from Edge Lane Retail Park, so shops, supermarkets and essentials are all nearby. You have also got good transport links, including access towards the city centre and even green space like Newsham Park within walking distance. So overall, this is not really about moving in tomorrow, it is more about seeing the bigger picture. If you are an investor, or someone who does not mind putting in a bit of work to create something better, this could turn into a really worthwhile project. House 5. This is a freehold property in Bootle, priced at around £150,000, but it is not just a standard house. What you're actually getting here is a block of 2 self-contained apartments, which have already been refurbished to a high standard. So instead of buying a property and then figuring out what to do with it, this one is pretty much ready to go from day one. Both units are set up for rental, and together they are expected to bring in around £1,350 per month, which puts you at roughly a 9.5% gross yield. And that is the kind of number that definitely grabs attention. The ground floor is laid out as a studio-style apartment, with an open-plan living and kitchen space, a sleeping area, and its own ensuite. Then the upper unit is spread across 2 levels, giving you a bit more space, with a separate living area, kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. So it feels more like a traditional flat. Both also come with their own rear yard space, and there is on-street parking available, so everything is set up nicely for tenants. And in terms of location, you are not far from Liverpool docks and only about a 10-minute drive into the city centre, which helps keep rental demand strong. So overall, this one is not really about living in, it is more of a turnkey investment. If you are looking for something that can start generating income without needing extra work, this is definitely one to keep on your radar. House 6. This is a 3-bedroom semi-detached house in Alma Close, priced slightly lower at around £140,000, which again puts it in that more affordable range. And straight away, one thing that stands out here is the setting. It is located at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac, so you get a bit more privacy and less through traffic. As you go inside, the layout is simple but works really well. You've got a comfortable living room at the front, and then towards the back there is a fitted dining kitchen with French doors leading outside, so it feels nicely connected, especially if you like that indoor-outdoor flow. Upstairs you have got 3 bedrooms, including a smaller 3rd room that could easily work as a child's room, office, or even a storage space depending on your needs. There is also a family bathroom on this floor, so everything is laid out in a practical way, but where this property really adds value is outside. You've got a good-sized rear garden, and what is nice here is that it backs onto open space, so it feels a bit more private and less boxed in. And at the front, there is a long curved driveway, giving you plenty of off-road parking, which is always a big bonus. So overall, this one feels like a solid, no-nonsense family home in a quieter location, especially if outdoor space and parking are important to you. House 7. This is a 3-bedroom terraced house on Beresford Road, priced at around £130,000, and it is actually being offered through an online auction with a buy it now option available. So straight away, this one is more about opportunity and timing, especially if you are someone who is ready to move quickly. As you go inside, the layout is quite traditional, but it gives you a good amount of flexibility. You enter through the hallway, which takes you into a front-facing dining room, a really nice space for meals, or even as a second sitting area depending on how you want to use it. From there, it flows into the rear lounge, which feels more like your main relaxing space, so the house naturally separates living and dining without feeling disconnected. At the back, you've got a fitted kitchen with enough storage and workspace for everyday use, and just beyond that is the ground floor bathroom, keeping everything practical and easier to access. Upstairs, you will find 3 well-proportioned bedrooms, so again you have got options here, whether it is family living, guests, or even setting up a home office. Outside there is a rear courtyard, which is low maintenance but still gives you a bit of outdoor space to work with. And in terms of location, you are close to local amenities and transport links, so getting around or accessing essentials is not an issue. So overall, this one sits in that category of a more affordable property with solid fundamentals. It is not about luxury, it is about getting a decent amount of space at a lower price point, with the added angle of potentially securing it through auction. House 8. This is a 1-bedroom Manhattan-style apartment right in Liverpool city centre, coming in at around £100,000, which is easily one of the lowest price points we have seen so far. But what you're really paying for here is where it is located. You are just a short walk away from places like the Royal Albert Dock, so everything, restaurants, shops and waterfront views, is right on your doorstep. The apartment itself is designed in a modern, compact style, so it is not huge, but everything is laid out efficiently. You have got an open living setup with a clean, high-spec finish, so it feels fresh and ready to use straight away. And because it is a Manhattan-style layout, it is more about smart use of space rather than separate large rooms, ideal for a single person or a couple. Now, from an investment side, this one is also pretty interesting. It is expected to generate around a 7% net rental yield, and being right in the city's centre means there is usually strong tenant demand all year round. There is even an on-site rental company managing things, which can make it a lot more hands-off if you are not looking to deal with tenants directly. And on top of that, you have got access to landscaped garden areas, which is a nice bonus considering you are right in the middle of the city. So overall, this one is less about space and more about location, convenience and rental potential. If you are looking for a low-entry investment or a simple city living setup, this could be a really interesting option. House 9. This is a 3-bedroom semi-detached house in Litherland, coming in at around £100,000, and this one sits somewhere in between a move-in home and a project. As you step inside, the layout feels quite traditional but practical. You've got a separate lounge area and then a dedicated dining room, which is nice because it gives you clearly defined spaces instead of everything being combined. Towards the back, there is a kitchen along with a utility room, so you have got that extra bit of space for storage or laundry, which always makes day-to-day living easier. Upstairs, you will find 3 bedrooms and a family bathroom, so overall it is a straightforward setup that works well for a small family or even as a rental. Now, it is worth mentioning this property does need a bit of modernisation, so it is not fully updated. But the key thing here is that the structure and layout are already solid, so you're not starting from scratch, you're just improving what is already there. Outside, you've got both front and rear gardens, which adds a bit more breathing room compared to some of the other properties we have seen. And the area itself is well established, so you are not in a brand new development, it is a more settled neighbourhood with everything you need nearby. So overall, this one feels like a balanced option. Not as hands-off as a turnkey property, but also not a full renovation project either, just something you can gradually improve and make your own over time. House 10. This is a 2-bedroom terraced house on Dewsbury Road, coming in at just around £82,000, which is definitely going to catch a lot of attention. But like you would expect at this price, point, This one is very much aimed towards investors rather than someone looking to move in themselves. The property itself is fairly straightforward. You have got a living area, kitchen, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, so all the essentials are there. There is also a private rear garden, along with on-street parking, so it still offers a bit of outdoor space. But the key thing here is not really the layout, it is the rental side of things. This property already has tenants in place, and they have been there for several years, consistently paying rent and planning to stay on. So from day one, you are stepping into a property that is already generating income, currently around £6,600 per year. And for a purchase price at this level, that is exactly the kind of setup a lot of investors look for. Low entry cost with immediate returns. It is also located close to local amenities, so from a rental demand point of view, it ticks the basic boxes. So overall, this one is not about presentation or upgrades, it is purely about numbers and long-term return potential. If you are building a portfolio and looking for something simple that is already up and running, this could be a very straightforward addition. So yeah, as you can see, even in a market where everything feels overpriced, there are still real opportunities out there. You just have to know where to look. Some of these are perfect if you want to move in, some need a bit of work, and others are purely about making money long term. And now I am curious, which one would you actually go for? Let me know down in the comments section below. And if you want more videos like this, showing affordable houses, hidden deals and real opportunities around the United Kingdom, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I have got more videos coming, and some of the next ones are even crazier than this. See you there. Cheers.